That's my whole story.
Neato.
Are we level?
Yeah, we're level. Good to go.
Oh, wow.
You guys
I
were
didn't
talking
even...
about stuff the whole time. I was leveling secretly.
I didn't feel like, that we were talking that much.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, wait. Is the camera on?
Camera's also on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Between Wednesdays, just trying to get by to the next fix. Living between Wednesdays. Prefer the comics over the Netflix. Living between Wednesdays.
Society's a phone, Chris. Why don't you
I know.
look up and participate with reality a bit?
I just read fucking 30 comics
Why don't you
today.
get your nose out of a book and marry Gaston instead?
Ew.
That's a Beauty and Beast reference.
No one farts like Gaston.
I use antlers on all of my decorating. Comics.
I want to say, speaking of cell phones, what was up with we had a comic this week with a hairy purple cell phone was the center of the issue. It confused me why the character through most of the high points of the comic was just holding what looked like a pair of large purple testicles. And at the end there's an ad for new organic phones with follicles to respond to your touch. I would hate that so much.
You don't have a ball sack
What if you
phone?
had a really intuitive flip phone that was made of flesh with hair on it?
Who would want that? I feel like because of COVID, we're gonna get a lot of society's a phone allegory movies. I feel like we're gonna get more of those now. They were slowly starting to peter off because it turns out we just like our phones and then we don't want to be ashamed about it every minute. But now it's everyone's on their phone extra now because we're all at home. So
everybody's making. First, I feel what happened first was everybody's making banana bread.
Yeah.
Everybody was making sourdough. What else? There've been a few other moves of just
People were gardening.
Gardening. It's definitely, can't fault them for that. That's pretty cool.
Crocheting.
Yeah, there was crocheting. There was, oh God.
I've talked to at least 2 or 3 acting friends that are pivoting into learning web design because...
All right.
Zoom Hangouts, a lot of those.
Yeah, we did a lot of those.
We're also getting more Zoom movies. They're coming up.
Oh, yeah, we already watched Host.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I don't
watched
know
a
what that is.
60-minute horror film that takes place over Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was an hour.
Actually, it wasn't bad. I didn't hate that one at all. It was like watching a
Paranormal Activity, but they do a seance over the internet because they're all in quarantine, and then weird shit starts happening. Yeah.
Anyway, comics
Yes.
and books.
My children.
Comic books.
Pretty much. It's so many. It was a heavy week here. At the
packed
Sad Cake.
week.
We all had a bunch of stuff to read.
Yeah.
I liked most of it.
Oh yeah.
So probably, yeah.
This is the first time I think my bullet since we've been back has been the healthy stack that it normally is. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
Dude, imagine if you didn't own a comic book store and you were still buying all those.
Dude, I think about that all day. All the time. I think about how much money I used to spend.
Stop writing. Stop
Do
producing
what I do
material.
and only start heavily reading comics when you already work at the store.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Well, do what I do. Own the store, read the comics, sell them to other people.
Yeah,
Get new comics.
Yeah, I was buying books after every week that I didn't even like. I just wanted to finish that story.
Yeah.
But now, since I have a pretty solid system of reviews that will help me choose and save money, but also have an experience on iHeartRadio, Spotify, what else are we on? iTunes,
Google Play?
Google Play. We're on Google Play, and another one. I forgot what that one was.
The-
Stitcher. Yeah, we're on all the things.
I haven't heard of half of those.
You can put us in your ear
Put 'em on
holes.
any of your ears, even though you're watching this video.
So at least one of those apps has to be downloadable on a smart fridge, right? In theory, people could listen to us from their smart fridge.
Listen to us on your fridge
From your watch.
or your eyeglass. Google
Oh,
glasses.
the Google
They
Glass.
can do a little Apple Watch. I don't know if they do a full screen. I don't know. Can you watch a video on your Apple Watch?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Don't listen to us on a phone.
No.
Society's a phone. Go out there and live your
What is
life.
it, 2016?
But look
no,
for
this
your
is the
Apple
future.
glasses or what the fuck, or Get your Wi-Fi connected.
I listen to all the podcasts on my phone.
No, not anymore.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
I only listen to my podcast on my drones.
Yeah.
On the drone.
that deliver
Wait,
fridges.
what? It's buzzing around.
I only use my smart kettle for podcasts.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
imagine.
And I use my microwave for audiobooks.
Which is really annoying when I had to bring you your kettle via my drone because our podcast is nonsense.
So this week, I
Garrison read a comic.
read a few comics, but the standout for me was Grendel Kentucky, written by Jeff McConsey, who I've never heard of, and illustrated by Tommy Lee Edwards, who I am a big fan of. I was anticipating this book a lot just because I really like his artwork. He did a very, very underspoken of run of Moon Knight in the late 90s, just a 4-issue run where Doug Mensch wrote it, he did the illustrations, and his wife did the coloring. And if that's not the goddamn sweetest thing you've ever heard, then get out.
Good, because at least he credited her, unlike some teams we know.
Oh, shade. But yeah, I was, as I mentioned before to you guys, I was really, really looking forward to this book for like months since it was in previews, and I have a habit of deciding ahead of time whether I like something or not, and then I just like roll with that opinion. But I think this was genuinely a very strong first issue.
I was actually very, very happy to read it and genuinely enjoy it. I thought the storytelling was really tight.
Yeah,
the
like
art
it
was stellar.
Tommy Lee Edwards is drawing
It's a masterclass.
great stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good. I think it does a really good job of establishing the world, like the town, the people, the community.
The biker gang.
The biker gang, just with pictures. I think it's a really good job of, the main characters and how they feel about each other based on some really good, tight conversation.
Yeah.
And the world they're living in based on the illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I read comics. I want to see world building in the dialogue and in the art. Some of the books we got this week were a little heavy on the words, in my opinion. I won't dive into that because I'm talking about how much I love this book. If you need an elevator pitch on it, there's a small town that has like a deal with a demon for them to have a strong economy and a really good weed grow up. The patriarch of said deal / grow up dies.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of brings the town together for a reunion. And then he has a son who's still sort of in the town. He has an estranged daughter who runs a motorcycle gang who comes for the funeral. And then you see just a small little introduction to the demon that's associated with this town. It just sort of sets up.
It reminds me of if Sons of Anarchy meets Terror. The Terror, remember the Terror?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would combine those two things. Motorcycle gang, big monster thing.
It's a good mashup.
Gritty, sincere, like unironic.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's not trying to be campy. It's not trying to be like supernatural. It's not a noir.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a what happens if.
Yeah, and I'm sold on the premise, but at the same time, I don't know if Denny is if he's gonna turn against the town, or if the leader of the motorcycle gang is gonna turn against the town, or who's gonna I don't have any guesses at where it's heading.
It's only
next.
4 issues.
Yeah.
And so
We're gonna get
I
going.
mean, I don't think, I think it's just gonna go and then be done.
Great.
So
I'm in for the ride for sure.
What do you got, Chris?
oh
Yeah.
my. Sorry, drinking water.
Drink fast.
Society's not water, Chris. You gotta
I have to
become
stay hydrated. You want to deal with me while I die?
I mean,
Society's
Not
not
the
dying, Chris. You gotta interact with your whatever. What's your comment?
I think we've reached the max
Society's a
society
phone,
jokes.
and I liked Lonely Receiver.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
The purple ball sack phone.
yeah, the
comic.
ball phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I read this comic a month ago.
Ooh.
I know.
Insider tips.
Yeah. The writer was offering PDFs for advanced critique to anyone who owned a shop or ran a ran a podcast.
Ooh.
Which I do both of those things.
Very true.
Also, I was given advance copies of The Dregs, which is the same writer.
Oh, I like the Dregs a lot.
So I'm in the zeitgeist of who gets these emails.
You're in the in crowd.
Yes. So I read the PDF of the first 3 issues. But I will say that the first issue sold me super hard even then, and I was excited to get the print copy of this book because I think the colors actually turned out better in the print version. So it's got pretty like experimental art at times. It follows a main protagonist who chooses to become linked with their partner. So you can become like sort of telepathically entwined with your partner. It's a service that you can opt into. It's sort of like a digital network for both of you. And then so the partner is digital though. Mm-hmm. Like it's a fake person.
It's like an AI. They say something about matter constructs. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
like a physical being.
Yes, yeah. But made of what you imagine you want, that then becomes sentient and sort of able to surprise you, which is supposed to be part of the feature, except that she's obviously someone who would want this, neurotic, a little bit controlling, a little bit demanding. The partner decides to leave, which is a very, very rare occurrence, and it's about what happens after that.
I had to laugh at the it designs like an AI partner for you based on like your brainwaves, asks you questions and scans your responses, and then you still leave them.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, yes, totally, but also...
Oh, it's done well. Like, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it and I felt it, but I had to just laugh at how that could be a joke as well.
Yeah.
You design the ideal partner and they're still like, I mean, what if my main thing I'm really into is people who aren't into me? Then they are into me. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Well, the trouble is that she decides she wants this free-spirited, amazing sort of self-sufficient woman who, when developed sentience and is super smart and has full access to information, and they do a bit of a her thing where she can tap into the world and and enjoy sort of infinite knowledge in that way. Yeah, that person, when you get controlling and neurotic and tell them that you just want them to only focus on you all the time, that person's gonna leave.
There was a moment in that vein that was right out of Watchmen.
Yeah.
Where they're doing something. I think they're reading a script, and she's like, "Are you in the garden right now?"
Yeah.
When Dr. Manhattan and Spectre making love, and he's working in the lab as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clever.
So I really liked it. I thought it was a more personal, more romantic, more broken version of things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it could be really, really interesting to see what happens to this person afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is what this comic is going to be about. So, Lonely Receiver. A really good, sad technopop. I don't even know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wednesday to Wednesday, I be going hard from Wednesday to Wednesday.
Yeah, hey, you pal. You got that one where Superman goes to Supertown? Yeah, I got that when it come out. I like the fourth one.